Good morning, everybody. You're listening to 93.7 The Bull with me, your host, Cooper Kolb. Let's head on overseas and see what's happening across the globe. As war continues in South Sudan, Gwango Paul Dada, a lifelong resident of the country, decides to pack up and leave. The refugee camp they were hoping to come across took 2 whole days of walking with barely any food and water. His wife and 3-year-old son also took the trip with him. Dada told ABC News, "We would walk during the day and sleep on the way. My son got sick on the way, and we did not have enough food and water. Hunger became the biggest problem." The family of 3 reached safety of the refugee camp, but were sad they had to leave most of their belongings because they were too heavy to carry. Data also told ABC News, "It pained my heart to leave because before the war we were okay in South Sudan. We lived a very good life and had water and proper food. And then from there we were forced to move." He also said he would eventually return home when the violence in Sudan calmed down. Now let's take a look at what's happening in our own country. Sunday morning, a man stabbed his own mother to death in her home in Pennsylvania after the two got in an argument over 2 cats. Dean Craven believed his mother had killed 2 pet cats, so he went to her house with a screwdriver, extension cord, and a stun gun. He used the stun gun multiple times on his mother with no outcome, so he stabbed her with the screwdriver. Defense attorney David Schrager told CBS Pittsburgh News, "There are some cases where people suffer from mental illness. That may be a factor in this case. I'll have to examine the evidence." Dean attempted to take his own life multiple times after the murder, but each attempt was unsuccessful. He was arrested immediately without hesitation, and Lori Craven was pronounced dead at the scene. An even closer look at our own state turns up some pretty scary information. Community members looking for a missing relative, Jessica Runyon, Sunday afternoon, find a man's body for the second week in a row. Relatives of, relatives of Jessica searched roadside ditches and fields in search of missing female family member but found a man's body instead. This is the second body found by the Runyon family in search of Jessica. The first man was identified as 21-year-old Brandon Herring, while the second body has yet to be identified. Jessica's father told Fox News, "2 bodies 2 weeks in a row? It's unbelievable. We're not going to stop looking until we find her, and if we find other people along the way, that's good. Families deserve closure." Now a word from our sponsor. Yeti Coolers. Rugged, reliable, and keeps ice for days. If you go on an outdoor adventure and you need a Yeti, go riding through the mountains, good thing Yeti's bear proof, sailing the ocean for days on end, Yeti keeps ice 5 times longer than the leading competitor. If it's not just a cooler you need, we also offer cups, koozies, and Yeti apparel, including hats and t-shirts. Just remember, when you need to keep something cold or hot, Yeti is the solution for you. Now let's take a peek into the lives of our sports teams. Ken Hitchcock, a name who's been around St. Louis Blues organization, has been fired from his head coach position Wednesday because they feel he is not giving 100% to the team. Hitchcock has been fired during his 6th year of coaching and has a record of 248, 124, and 41. He has also made the playoffs each of his 5 consecutive seasons with the Blues. The general manager of the Blues, Doug Armstrong, told a news conference, "We don't lose with pride. I don't think we've given our best effort, and Ken, ultimately, he's paying the price with all our failures, starting with mine." At the time Hitchcock was fired, the Blues in 8th place in the NHL's Western Conference. Mike Yeo was planning to become head coach when Hitchcock retired after this season, but got put into the rotation a couple months earlier than expected. The Blues hope the change in coaching will give them a much-needed pick-me-up as the team finishes their season. Now let's see if we're going to need a coat the next few days. Tomorrow will be a chilly one with a high of 33 and a low of 17. It's going to be sunny, so you might want a pair of sunglasses. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 41 and a low of 31. Super Bowl Sunday will be a beautiful sunny day with a high of 51 and a low of 34. That sun is going to go away Monday, and there's a chance of rain and thunderstorms, so you might want to bring along an umbrella. Tuesday, the sun is going to pop back out and to have a high near 58. Wednesday will bring back some rain and possibly even snow with a high of 37. Thursday will return back to sunny and have a high around 32. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the news. I've been your host, Cooper Kolb, and tune in tomorrow to 93.7 The Bull. See you then.